Hi there, Cheryl from Caribou Country Lifestyle. I just wanted to share a bit of information with you. My sister-in-law had asked me if I knew of what kind of plants, flowers that you could grow that would repel mosquitoes. And well, I actually grow quite a few of them already. So I made up a list of some different plants that you can grow to repel mosquitoes that will help repel mosquitoes. So I have never grown lavender, but lavender is actually really good mosquito uh, keeping the mosquitoes at bay. It's the oil in the leaves, that essential oil that comes out of the leaves that hinders the mosquitoes' sense of smell. So that's kind of interesting. I'm thinking that I probably need to pick up some lavender. One that I do, and I'm actually in the process of planting my seeds right now, got a chunk of wood, is marigolds. I grow quite a few marigolds, and they are a great pest deterrent. Again, the smell that comes from the marigolds, that smell emits, and it deters the mosquitoes. It also deters aphids and thwarps and white flies. Tomato, what are they called? The tomato hornworms. What was another one I had on my list? And squash bugs. Now, what I usually do is I put marigolds into planters. I have them by my front door. I have planters out on my deck. I have planters not planters, but I have plant marigolds in amongst my vegetables out in my raised beds. That also is very good if you're looking for some type of deterrent for pests and for the mosquitoes as well. Another one they say that, but I've never grown it, is citronella grass, like a lemongrass, and it again keeps the mosquitoes at bay. Now it's not something that is going to come back every year, so you might want to think about putting it in a planter, a large planter of some sort, since it is a grass as well. Another one is catnip. Now, I usually don't like to plant catnip because I have 2 cats, and I definitely don't want to encourage them to be in my garden because I don't want to be finding any other little goodies in my garden, since they have a tendency to like to use that as for their little litter area, and that's definitely, I want to discourage that. But it's actually, catnip is supposed to be an amazing mosquito repellent and 10 times stronger than DEET. So that's pretty interesting, I would say. Another one is rosemary. I did start some rosemary. The good thing about rosemary is it is dual purpose, so it's good for the mosquitoes. It has a woodsy scent that is what keeps the mosquitoes and as well as the cabbage moths away, carrot flies. So not only is it going to keep those bugs away, but you also get to use it to season with your cooking. Basil, another good herb, and I have grown that for quite a few years. Again, that's something that you could have in planters out on your patio. So it is close at hand if you do need to use it for cooking, and also a good pest deterrent, good for mosquitoes, and have some at your front door as well. So it's handy planting it out in your garden if you have herbs out in your garden. good to have it out there, especially if it's going to be beneficial in two ways with pests and to use for your cooking. I have another one is scented geraniums. I have purchased scented geraniums now for probably the last 10 years, and scented geraniums are actually quite pretty. They are just like, they flower like a geranium, and you can get them in pinks and purples, and it's the leaves. When you rub the leaves, it has that lemon citronella scent to it, and that's what discourages the mosquitoes. And I've rubbed it on my hands, and I've even rubbed it from my hands onto my arms as well, and I really enjoy the scented geraniums. They're quite pretty. Now, bee balm, I've never planted bee balm, but it's definitely something I would try. Not only is it a good deterrent for the bad bugs, it also attracts the good bugs like your bees and your butterflies. So that is definitely something to consider. So, from what I've read, is that you take the leaves and you can crush them, and it releases a fragrant oil. That is what discourages the mosquitoes. And again, that's another plant that flowers, and you can get them in shades of red, pink, white, lavender, purple, and it flowers all summer long. So that might be something to consider too. Another one plant is mint, and again, dual purpose. If it's going to be good for your mosquitoes, and it's also good for cooking with as well, making tea. It's a good non-toxic option, which is important to keep mosquitoes, flies, and apparently even ants away. So I'd have to look into that a little bit more to find out exactly what you have to do with the mint to keep ants away. What else? With mint, you definitely want to have that in pots. I wouldn't be planting that in your raised beds amongst your vegetables, because mint takes over. It's very evasive. So I would plant it in a planter, either out in your garden or again on your patio, at your front door, out on your deck. Definitely have it in a planter, because it will take over amongst all your other plants, and it will come back every year too, so it is a perennial. So that's also a good thing. Floss flower, I've never grown floss flower, and I had no idea that it repels mosquitoes. It contains a chemical called coumarin, which I didn't know that. But with that being said, that chemical is actually toxic. So it's not good if your pets or humans ingest it. It's quite toxic, so be careful with that one. Sage is another one, and with sage, if you are like to be out in a gathering, out by the fire pit, having people over, and you're sitting out there, you can just grab a couple of handfuls of some sage and throw that into the fire, and that earthy smell will help ward off the bugs. So that's encouraging. Allium is another one, and that means your garlics and your onions. That strong fragrance from them will also ward off mosquitoes, and it's actually, for garlic, I'm going to be growing garlic. I have it actually growing in my garden already, but I am going to be planting my eggplant with it because the garlic apparently helps deter pests from towards my eggplant. So I figured, well, it's kind of dual purpose for me too, to plant my eggplant in with my garlic. So what I have here is I'm just actually starting to plant some marigolds, seed my marigolds. I'm doing quite a few. I'm hoping to get a couple of flats of marigolds. I have tall marigolds and then I have shorter ones. These are the Cracker Jack marigolds, and they actually get 30 to 36 inches tall. So they're a really beautiful marigold. The other one I have only gets 8 to 10 inches tall. And then I have some marigolds that I saved seeds from. So I have quite a few saved seeds, and I could not tell you what variety those are from because I didn't mark them down. We just saved the seeds and put them into a big Ziploc bag, and I'm just planting them and I'll get whatever I get. So hopefully that helps you with some plants to think about purchasing, starting your own, growing them, and having them around to help repel mosquitoes and to help as a pest deterrent too. So if you have any comments, definitely put them below, and if you like this, then hit the thumbs up, and if you want to see more of my videos, maybe you can hit the subscribe button. Awesome. Thanks. We'll talk again. Bye.